Well, we are really going to have fun. We are going to rock and roll, and Holly Vaselenak is here from Close to My Heart, and you're going to tell us what this rock and roll is all about, right? I'm not quite sure I get it yet.
I sure am. It's actually a stamping technique, and it's where you take your stamp it into a lighter shade, and then you're going to roll the edges into the darker shade, and it's going to add depth and dimension to your stamped image.
Right, and you've done that on the page here, right? On the little banner?
I sure have, on Sofia.
Uh-huh.
And what I did is I used one stamp designed to do the banner, squares or triangles as you have it, and then I also used a different image and stamp combination to do the word Sofia.
Okay.
I'd love to show it to you.
All right, well, let's get started.
We're going to use this stamp set. It's a polymer-based stamp set, and what I love about it is, do you notice that it's actually Christmas trees?
But we're going to use the shape to make triangles, right?
Very versatile. You can use it for any project that you want. And they just peel off so nicely on these carrier sheets, and I'm just going to mount it just like this onto the acrylic block.
So easy.
And I love the stamp pad because it swivels, and then the color lays right on the surface, and it's always got the ink right up at the top.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to take my stamp and just kind of
Now
pat
you're
it.
using the lighter color first, is that correct?
Yes, and that's one thing. I'm so glad you mentioned that. You always want to use your lighter shade first, and then you want to roll it into your darker shade, and that way the darker shade won't migrate onto the lighter stamp pad. And then just take it, and you're just going to roll it right onto the edges where you want the color to go.
So that's where the roll comes in.
Yes, and then just lay it. Oh, in fact, you know what?
I was going to say, you also were telling me you have a special technique with the little foam paper that comes in with the stamps.
Yes, not only does it protect the stamp set when you're storing it, but it acts as a cushion so that when you go to stamp your image, you're going to get even color and even distribution of color.
All the way around. That's beautiful. That's easy to rock and roll. And we don't slip a disc doing it.
No,
I like
we don't.
That part.
You're going to go ahead and cut that out. I'll just move this off to the side.
And you're going to show us how we can do the letters, correct?
I sure am. This is an alphabet font, and I love it because all of the images are in different patterns.
So that gives us immediate texture without having to do anything extra, right? All we have to do is stamp it.
It sure does. We're going to use the O. And again, I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to use a deeper color this time. I'm going to first stamp it into the pink, just like that. And then I'm going to use this dark brown. And again, just rolling the image, just like this.
Okay.
And you can kind of see where the color is on the stamp. And again, I'm just going to take this carrier sheet, or the foam pad, and just stick it right underneath there. And voila.
And just stamp.
There you have it.
That's beautiful. Now, when we're using alphabet stamps and we actually want to, I know you're doing individual letters right now, and we want to do a word, there's something really important that we have to remember, right, Holly?
Yes, you're actually going to take a longer block, and you're going to spell the letter backwards. And that way you can see the letter. I'll just do this really quickly.
Okay.
And as you're placing it on here, there's a line down at the bottom that helps you line up the alphabet. And you're just going to spell it backwards like that. And I love this because you can see them. They're so clear. And you get it lined up. And then when you're stamping your image, you just stamp it once. You don't have to stamp it individually.
Okay. And then also when you can turn it over, we want to check first and make sure that we do have the letters the right way around, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's a great tip. Now, I've cut out this this triangle here, and you said that there was a tip for distressing the edges.
Yes, just open up your scissors.
Okay.
And start rubbing the cardstock gently towards you. And it will just start to rough up the edges. Do you see that?
Oh, I do, and I see all these little flakes coming down too. That is not me that's molting.
It's fabulous.
That is a pretty effect.
And then if you
really
turn
like
it
that.
and do the other side, you'll just start to just ruffle up a little bit of that color.
Okay. Now we do it always from the front or the back?
I recommend just going towards myself. It seems the easiest to do.
All right, that is really, really cool.
So then what we're going to do now here is take our finished triangles with our alphabet letters, and we're just going to glue those right onto our project.
Okay. Now you put the alphabet letters on with a little foam tape so that they'd stand up a little bit,
and it just adds a little bit more dimension onto the page.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Now, would you like to pass me the other letters?
I
and
would
I'll
be
lay those
happy
down
to.
for you on this
I would
end?
be happy to. You can take those two
There
right
we
there.
go.
And, I will
And
take
we'll
this
just
one.
pop them down like that. Okay, now you have some other embellishments that you actually put in between the letters.
I do. If you'll notice right over here, we have these wonderful paper flowers.
Yeah, you know what? I love these envelopes because I always get extra because they're a great place for storage, right?
They really are.
So, and now we're going to use the flowers.
Yes, we're going to use the flowers and the buttons. And do you notice here how I've got a little bit of a waxy twine in them that just adds a little bit of color and dimension. And I'm going to take a dot of glue that's right here, and I'm just going to place it right on the back, and it peels off beautifully. And I'm just going to place them in between the two letters just to add a little finishing touch.
Those are precious, and you've got lots of different flower shapes, lots of different sizes, and different colors and sizes of buttons that all work together with the colors of your stamping ink.
They do. It makes it faster and easier, doesn't it?
Holly, I tell you what, I love to rock and roll, even with a stamp pad.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We'll take one last look at the page and stay with us because we'll be right back.